and welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do some plant chores with all of you. Ever since I got back from California, I've been doing little bits and bobs here and there, but I have saved some plant chores to do with y'all because I kind of want to talk you through what I'm doing and why I'm doing it and all of that. So that's what's going to happen today. Before we get into that though, I just want to say if you're new here and you don't know me already, hi, my name is Emma and I make houseplanting content all over the internet. So if you want to follow along with my houseplanting journey and maybe learn something along the way, stick around, watch some more of my videos and subscribe to my channel. And say hi to Cleo. Yeah, baby. Hi. Hi. Right. You're gonna be mad because I want to get up. I was just doing an intro, baby. Ow. Oh, some of her nails are really sharp. Okay, yeah, lay in the sun. That's where you belong. In the nice, warm sun. As you can tell, it is a beautifully sunny day today. It is freaking cold outside. It is. I think it's like 3 degrees at the minute, so not warm, but it is nice and warm here inside with the sun shining how I like it. So let us do the planty things. That's just not gonna work. Okay. This is gonna be the angle for like 2 seconds and then I'm gonna change it up. But I think now is the time to move my Regal and my Warquianum out of the cabinet. Neither of them are currently pushing out new leaves, and so I don't need to worry about a new leaf getting a bit messed up by its change of location. So pulling the Regal out. And then we can get the Warquianum as well. Oh, this leaf needs to come off. On my dragon scale, I've got a leaf that needs to come off, so I'm just gonna snap that, or cut it, I suppose, and put that back. And then grab this beautiful thing. Oh my goodness. Let's go into slightly better lighting. So, I'm pretty sure that the cabinet was getting too bright for my Regal. This is the second leaf that it has sort of started to yellow, especially near the top, because it's right by the light because it is such a large plant. And I really don't want the same fate to happen to this leaf. So, I think it is time to put this into a different location, and that is massively scary because it won't be getting as like ideal of a climate. So aside from the light, the humidity in there is quite high. I think it's like 70-80% most of the time. That being said, my flat's not that much lower, at like 60 something most of the time, if not more. So I'm not too worried about bringing this out. But also, I have heard / generally know that anthuriums, when they get slightly less light, they tend to grow in a bit darker. And I do really love the super dark, velvety, like almost blackness of anthuriums and how they can be. I don't know if the Regal specifically gets that dark, but I have seen super duper dark Warquianums, which I think would be amazing. This one, I don't know if it necessarily needs to leave the cabinet. Sorry, just inspecting for pests really quick because I always get nervous that there's gonna be pests on here. I don't see any, which is great. I don't even see any flat mites, which is great as well. So I know this one can grow super duper dark, and I really want that for this plant. I think it could benefit, and it would make a whole big chunk of room to get both of these out of the cabinet. So I've been struggling a little bit to figure out where they're going to go. They're not small plants and they do require quite a bit of space. This one is quite tall for being, oh, I forgot, sitting in water? No, okay, it's not sitting in water, but like the reservoir is full. I should probably pour that out. Because its cash pot goes down to about there and the water is like there at the minute. But it's not in semi-hydro, it's in soil, so it really doesn't need a reservoir at all. I will pour that out before I put it anywhere. But they're just tall and a bit sprawly, so I'm not too sure what I want to be doing with them. Thought process wise, I'm gonna talk you through this because I've been thinking about this for so long now. Thought process wise, I think ideally I would want to put them on some shelves in the office on my Vitsjo shelves and take out one of them so I have room for a tall set of plants. But I know full well that I cannot be putting things that I really care about in there because I end up just not taking care of the plants in the office nearly enough, and so it's like that would be the right spot space-wise, like for the size of these plants, but not the right spot care-wise. And I feel like care is more important than space when it comes to these. So I'm kind of thinking that the regal could go in this sort of area. I don't know, I have not tried it here. I've literally not pulled this one out to even test it in other places because I wanted to do that with y'all. I also need to, like, should I repot? It is fully rooted through the bottom. And I don't have a bigger pot for this. I don't think I can have a bigger pot for this one because it's a big boy. But I was thinking I could potentially put it over here. I mean, it's just a bit awkward with these leaves. It's just a bit weird. Maybe putting it here will encourage them to face the other way. And then put this back, like that. How does that look? I mean, I don't think it looks bad. So I really dislike how this leaf looks here. So maybe I should put it so the other one is forward. I could just cut off the other one. It's just kind of obnoxious. Like there? I mean, that actually does not look bad. And the plant will still get sunlight because it's got the mother grow light here, but this light only goes on from like an hour before sunset. So right now in the winter it's coming on at about 3 something because the sun sets in the UK at an unreasonable hour of like 4 something. So it's not getting as much light as it was in the cabinet, which the grow lights in there come on from 7:30 in the morning and end at 10:30. Not 10:30, 10. So they have 12.5 hours of light a day from the grow lights in there. And this would be much less, between maybe like 2 and 6 a day. So I think that makes a little bit more sense there. And it actually doesn't, like, I don't lose any sort of real estate by putting this one here because the the Fat Boy just takes up loads of room anyways by its like sprawling leaves. I am really tempted to cut this other big leaf off though. What do y'all think? Vote down below in the comments. Should I cut this yellowing leaf off or should I leave it? I'm really unsure because I think I could go either way. So whatever y'all vote for, I'll do, I guess. I might put a poll up on Instagram as well for that one, but it won't be in this video just because I need to see if I even like this plant here to begin with. So that one, I think that place is actually pretty okay. It does block some of the plants behind it, but not in any sort of hugely meaningful way. So I think that that is fine, I think. Now we need to find a spot for this one, which for some reason I feel like it's gonna be much, much harder. So my initial thought is to try and put it up there, but I genuinely don't think that, yeah, that's not tall enough to give it enough space. Oh, I was really hoping that that would work, because I have my Palmflorum over on that side there, and it's being absolutely perfectly happy since I've put it there. So that's really good. I could maybe put it in one of the alcoves, but the problem with these alcoves is that they stay very, very cold. So it's 17 degrees right now, and I would want it to be like at least 18. This zone is just generally colder, but I have vertical space here, so I'm really not sure. Maybe on the one on the other side above my desk in like that zone, because it would definitely fit height-wise here. But would it be getting what I want? This is genuinely really difficult. I do not know what I want to do with this one. Okay, hear me out. I didn't want to put this plant anywhere that Cleo could get to it because it does make me nervous, because I love my Warqueanum so much that I really don't want anything bad to happen to it. So like putting it on my bedside table makes me a little bit nervous, but I feel like that is the best option. So right now I've got my Siltepecana and a really sad brandy that I was doing the red paperclip thing with, but I feel like I want to get rid of this plant anyways. So I could just put this one here and just leave it like that. I don't know if that is the best spot for it or what. It doesn't get any grow light there at all, is the thing, which could be fine. I mean, I don't dislike how it looks there. My other worry is that my Standeliana has thrips. So it is something I'm treating, and I'll need to keep an eye on it, but since it's right next to my bed, that's my pillow. I can keep a very close eye on it and make sure that it is staying okay. I feel like this is the right answer. Now I just need to figure out something to do with this, which I hate that it exists in my home. I don't like it. I don't want it. I now also have a whole heck of a lot more room in the bottom of the cabinet here, and there are some things that I want to be going in here, which is awesome. I'm really excited to put more things in. I feel like I've not put new things in the cabinet in a while, just because I haven't really had the space to do so. But I'm gonna put this one around the back a bit. Oh, is that gonna fit? There we go. That looks good there. We can keep this one, the brandy, there. So I've got 2 milspo's there. And then I have this, which is an Anthurium SP Limon, which I got as cuttings from Claire that I finally put on a moss pole, because this is a climbing anthurium, which is pretty surreal. So getting this into the cabinet I feel like would be really good for it. The propagations were living in a prop box which was pretty much entirely moist constantly, so I think I can put that there. And then my that can circle around that. And then I can put my allocated ninja down in here. There's mostly allocations down on the bottom here. I've got my ninja, my mellow, dragon scale, bisma, silver dragon, all the really good things in here. Except I want to be bringing this one closer to the outside so I can see the water level there. Hello, Cleo. Hi, baby. Oh, I still feel like I have loads of room in here. Like in this bit, there's like a gap, but I feel like that's okay. I wonder if I could put maybe one of the big alocasias from up here. Maybe my black velvet. Because this is quite tall. Actually, that is so not as tall as I thought it was in comparison. Like, it's as tall as all of the other ones down here. But for the top up there, it's tall. Maybe this one? This one's pretty tall. What is this? My reversa? Again, not actually that tall. I could put it on something. I think the ninja, because it is so much shorter, would probably do better up here. Because then it's slightly closer to the grow light. And I'm gonna have to put one of those back between the black velvet and the reversa. I think the reversa might do better being in this bit. It's just a bit awkward. That's fine, I guess. And then this one can go down the bottom. Because that gives a good mix of textures. I have a black velvety thing on both the top and the bottom now. And it doesn't really fill that gap, but that's okay. I don't necessarily need to fill that gap. I could just wait and see what happens, see how my plants grow, let them grow into the gap, as opposed to trying to fill it right now with something. Because I don't really have anything that I want to be filling it with. So leave it as it is probably the best bet. And then put my little thingy back there. And I still have more room on the bottom, which is great. Look what I just found. My little mini euphorbia ghost that I've been trying to propagate for almost a year at this point has officially rotted. So that is massively unfortunate, but at the same time it's kind of okay because I have the new bigger one now. But I did really want to get this one to grow on my own, but it just was not having it. Such is life. I have made another decision, which is kind of an odd one. I'm actually going to be taking this philodendron cream splash off of this pole completely, and entirely out of semi-hydro, which is odd for me. I don't normally go what I feel is backwards in terms of plants, but this one, it has been in the office, kind of tucked away. I never water this one. You can see it is bone dry to the point where I don't even think the plant is connected anymore to the root system. Yeah, it's fully detached, so I don't even need to water it. But I also don't water the moss pole. I know I've got a cup on top of here, but the moss poles in the office just don't get watered near enough. And the only thing it's living off of currently is the roots in the moss here. So I want to fully dismantle this one, and potentially I might have to chop and prop it up, or if I can, I would like to put it into my philodendron Brazil. And I know they're not the same plant, but they have the exact same care needs, other than maybe this one needs a tiny bit more light, but it's not been getting tons and tons of light where it has been for the past couple of years at this point. So I think it can probably tolerate the same sort of care as this one. And I kind of think I just want it to trail instead of climb. I don't feel like I need to make this one grow huge. So that's kind of my thoughts on this, and it feels weird to do. It feels like I'm taking a step backwards, but I think this one genuinely needs that step backwards. Oh, there's little springtails in here. I was just gonna pour the pon into it. I don't know if you can see those little guys moving around, but those are springtails, which are absolutely fine to have in semi-hydro, especially in water reservoirs or in plants in general. They are friends, not foe, but I don't need them at all right now because I'm gonna bigger space than this in general. Moving to the floor, and I've actually brought a spray bottle with me. So I can moisten this moss in hopes that it's a little bit easier to take off while it's moist. There we go. So it has an okay root system actually, up until the top bit here. So I'm kind of tempted . Oh, okay, I've decided I'm going to actually chop off these 4 bottom leaves, and then this whole bottom bit is rooted, and this whole top bit can just stay in the top as it is. I actually really like that plan because we don't need 4 tiny leaves. at all. We don't need these. So now it just looks like a cutting that I've rooted forever in sphagnum. Let's see if we can find a space for it in the Brazil. So I've dumped out a bunch of the soil, and I can kind of just place this in there and then refill this with the soil. So now the cream splash is just kind of on top of the Brazil, which I think is absolutely fine. I do not mind that, and you honestly can't even tell. So I feel like that's a good shout. I need to water this one. There we go. So now, one, my pot is even fuller, which is awesome, and two, it's got a little bit of cream somewhere. Over here. This is cream. That's the cream. It exists in here, I promise. So I hope that it likes this a little bit better and is a wee bit happier like this. We will see if that is the case or not. I will be keeping an eye on this one for probably at least a couple weeks to make sure it is adjusting all right. But I don't see why it wouldn't, seeing as the roots were like quite heavily rooted and none of them seemed like unhealthy. They all just seemed like sphagnum moss roots that I would get if I had just propped that thing. So I feel like we're in a really good place with this one, and it's looking so incredibly bushy. Loving it. Let's go put it back. All set, and it will get some grow light on here because I have my Grow Gang bulb here. So it'll get grow light in the evenings, which will be more than it had before. So I'm hoping that it will like that quite well in its new spot. And I've like kind of technically got rid of a plant, which I like because I'm trying to downsize right now. So it is time to put some more moss into my glorious moss pole, and I want to push this new growth over and kind of strap it to the pole so its roots can come in for this new leaf, because I have a feeling it's going to be a big one. So I've taken out the cup and I'm just going to fill up the moss pole, probably like 1, 2, 3 holes worth, maybe just 2. Of course, I'm using my Soil Ninja sphagnum moss. It is my go-to forever and always. Hoping I have enough moss to do this top up as well as an extension on my cebu blue, which we can get to in a moment. I think I probably will, but not positive. It's so heavy. Yeah, baby? What? You were perfectly happy sitting in the sun. What's wrong? I don't know. Okay. I think that's a good point for now. It definitely goes over the nodes of that one, so it should be fine. So I can put the cup back in here to sit on top of that moss. And is this in enough there? Yes. Just going to kind of force this bit over and strap it in as tight as I possibly can, in hopes that it'll help it stay in place. Yes. There we go. So that's now in contact with the damp sphagnum moss, which will be very, very, very good for it. And yeah, I can put this back in its zone and it will have a little bit more time yet. This plant is literally constantly putting out new growth. So it's got that big one that I was just working with. It's got this here and another new one coming out there. I honestly could not be happier with this plant. It has grown so well for me. And if you needed anything to push you to get yourself a glorious, even if it is a little bit more on the expensive side, I 1000% say do it. It is something special, this plant. So now's a fun time to talk about how I have never chopped and extended a plant before. Like, I've never chopped the moss pole, I don't think. As far as I know, I don't think I have chopped a moss pole and extended from there. So that makes me incredibly nervous off the bat. But I think that's what I need to do today. I prepped my new extension for the top already, and oh my goodness, this makes me so nervous. We'll just see if we can break this apart. So y'all are coming on this journey with me. So this one only had one overlapping, so it shouldn't be that difficult to get like the physical pole unattached. It's more so that if the plants have grown oh, where should I cut it? I don't know. Okay, I am going to cut the stems at all about the same place, just below the change, and then hopefully not too many roots have gone in between. Ha, 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 ha. Oh my god. This is crazy. Okay, so we have the bottom half there, which is doing absolutely fine. And then the top half, which has some chunky roots on here. I need to take some of this moss out because some of this moss will then suddenly be underneath the soil, which I don't like when I am using a moss pole. Oh, okay, well, that's not supremely useful. Maybe I shouldn't have cut that one, but I have like a cutting that's quite small here, but that's okay. It can go in the pot still. So, taking out a good chunk of moss from the bottom, probably about a pot's depth. Oh, I'm so wrong. I have chopped and extended before. I chopped and extended my dubia. What am I talking about? I have totally done a chop and extension before. I'm lying, I'm sorry. I completely forgot about that. I'm like, this feels really familiar for some reason. Why? And it's because I have done it before. The one thing I need to be thinking about though is, though this is like a bit more of a mature bit of plant, I have just cut off like half of the energy source from it. So I am nervous that, like with my dubia, it will grow a little bit smaller for a minute. And I don't necessarily want that, but it might just have to be what happens. I guess the only thing we can do is watch and find out. So that'll be another thing I can keep y'all updated with going forward. Okay, that's probably enough moss taken out. I realized I didn't grab myself a pot, so let's do that. Is this one big enough for this pole? Not particularly. What size pot did I have here? Oh, it's like awkwardly one size up from that. Let me go see if I have anything bigger that's not too big. Okay, I'm just gonna do a very, very, very quick repot to get this pot because it is that tiniest bit bigger than this one from my Ficus scheveriana, which I'm pretty positive I can almost, obviously I can't exactly transfer it, but I can almost exactly transfer it. And that will be fine. But this one's thirsty. There we go. That'll do. Now let's try this again. So it'll go like that. Much better. I should, however, put some holes in this cache pot with the good old soldery boy so I can attach it to the pole. Easy peasy. Now I'm just smelling melted plastic, which is super healthy, I know. Awesome that I have been able to do that successfully. I'm gonna put some bark in the bottom of this pole, just so I can keep the good drainage. Okay, it is physically attached, which is awesome. And I can pot this up. Okay, so we have a tiny little baby top cutting that we can attach this tall top boy to. Maybe. We will see. So as usual, I've taken the top couple of zip ties out of there so I can hopefully slide this in to attach it like that. But I need to put some more moss in before I do that. Haha! Okay, that is looking really good, and I can strap these top ones down, or I guess this top one, there's only one. I can strap it so it is holding close to the moss. I mean, I guess that looks good. I feel like it's a little bit sad now, just because it was so big before and now it's a whole heck of a lot smaller. I'm also feeling slightly conflicted because I have now technically made myself 2 plants. And I don't really know what to do with the bottom because I don't want to get rid of it because I love this plant. But I also don't want to have too many duplicates in my collection because I don't think that makes tons of sense. I don't know what to do. for now, I'll put this one kind of back in its spot, but hopefully this top one, the top cutting will fenestrate soon, because that would be awesome. That's the goal of this whole bit, to get the cebu blue to fenestrate. So let's hope we can make that happen. This is what we are working with in this corner now. I did swap around the variegated Monstera and the cebu blue just because I didn't want the cebu blue to be blocked entirely from the light now that it is smaller, and I feel like this can still get plenty of light, though maybe not because of this gigantic regal leaf. Do let me know whether or not you think I should take that one off. I'm leaning more and more towards yes, I should, just because it is getting quite in the way, and maybe it would make a little bit more like energy room for some future growth in there. So the last thing that I want to do today is to check out my box of things that I got from the plant swap in October. Yes, I have not even looked inside of this box since I put them in months ago. I'm hoping that they're fine, but I've not even thought about it at all, and so I am hoping, keeping my fingers crossed, that they are actually okay in here. I did give them a thorough water before I like sealed it up, so like the top of the box, you can see there's condensation in there. It is plenty moist, but I am not sure how things are doing. On first glance, things generally look okay, but I might just pull some things out and see how they're doing individually, because I'm a bit worried about that Hoya there. But let's look at them. Okay, yeah, that is literally mush. Okay, that's really, really gross. So this Hoya is gone and dead. It's gonna go in the bin, unfortunately. Let's shift to a positive note. This Catascantia is doing really, really well, actually. And I have, a few browning leaves on here, but for the most part, it's seeming to be really, really healthy and fine. Ooh, I lie. That's the bottom stem of some of it. That's a little unfortunate. Are they all like that, or is it just that one? Oh, this one's also rotted. Like, I'm sure I could take safety cuttings of this, like take off that top bit, but I don't even know if I want to. Do I care enough about this plant to do something to fix it? I know the answer is no, but I feel so guilty about it. It's allowed to go in the bin. It's allowed to go in the bin. It's allowed. It's allowed. Oh, that's such a difficult choice for me to make. I hate making decisions like that, but it's allowed to, and I need to remind myself that it is allowed to. Oh, okay. I thought that was gonna be a positive note, but that was totally not a positive note. This one might be a positive. A Wendlinger. but it is a strappy looking anthurium, and it seems to be happy enough in here and potentially putting out a tiny bit of new growth on there. So that is good. We're gonna keep you in here as you are for now. That one's good. Okay, this is not the plant that's going wrong, but the pot. Okay, it was one of those like decomposable pots, or like the cardboard ones, and it has just gone a tiny bit moldy and wet. By a tiny bit, I mean fully moldy and wet. So I should take these seedlings out. Oh, okay, I will do that. What's in this box? That's dead. That was a Rhaphidophora. Oh, it smells. Okay, I feel like I have done really, really bad here. Okay. This peperomia. Not sure what type of peperomia is off the bat. This seems to be rooting in here, and it's loving the moisture, which is great. What about these ones? I don't think these are peperomia frost, because I doubt I would have gotten peperomia frost from the swab. But these ones are also doing really, really well. There's tiny baby ones there, some babies there, and like properly rooting in, which is great news. That's the thing, when I put stuff away, it just leaves my mind and never comes back. So these are doing really well, I'm glad for that. Another peperomia in here, but it looks like the like prop leaf has died off, but it's got a baby. Oh, maybe, maybe not. I feel like pulled one of them out. So it looks like I do have the tiniest bit of something in here. Some sort of peperomia, I have no idea what type. And I hope that it stays happy. It might not. Who knows? Got an Epipremrum Shangri-La, which is absolutely fine. These can handle not anything, but most things. I am not gonna pull it out. Oh, okay, yeah, I'm not gonna pull it out, but you can see in there, maybe, there's a tiny bit of new growth in there that's coming out. So that's doing well. I'm glad to see that. Oh, this is the Cebu blue that is like incredibly different from my Cebu blue. Look at that. And this one is also just rooting in the moss. I saw a root a second ago. Yeah. Absolutely fine in here. Good stuff. This is that Pilea, I think. It's a different kind of Pilea. Kind of terrarium-y vibes. So maybe I'll put this in a terrarium going forward. It seems to be fine. It doesn't feel like it is rotted. So that's good. And then two more things. Peperomia Napoleonites is just all the way gone in there. Cool. And then another Tradescantia. Look how many aerial roots have grown because it's just been so humid in this box. This one is doing really, really well though. I feel like it also wasn't rooted, but it has rooted phenomenally into the soil. It doesn't look at all, sorry, there's a bit of a sunspot. It doesn't look at all like it has rotted. Like a couple leaves got a bit mucky, but generally it is doing really, really, really well. So I'm gonna leave that in as it is. I don't want to deal with this right now, but I have. my god, that is disgusting. Come on, just come out. Little plant babies, come out, please. Thank you. And I'm gonna put them in a new vessel and throw this one out as far away as possible because that's gross. So the little cuttings in here, or I guess seedlings, are doing absolutely fine. So I think I'm just gonna go in with some sphagnum and give them a fresh container. The tiny bit of sphagnum I've got left. Okay, hopefully these like this a little bit better. But otherwise, I am genuinely gonna leave the box as is because everything else in here has been doing fine. It is a little bit moist, so I might let it just air out for a little while, get some of this moisture out. But even just opening it for this period of time will have gotten some of the humidity out of here, and that will be good. So let this dry out for a little bit and it can go back. This is like, I was gonna say it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. I was expecting more things to be dead, but like there were quite a few things that were not okay in here. Oh, it happens. It happens. I am a little bit mad at myself for it, but it happens. It's okay. I mean, I think the real answer is I should probably put it somewhere that I'm going to notice it more, but I don't really have the space for that right now, so it's just gonna have to go back where it was, underneath some boxes and empty cash pots. So I think that's actually everything I am going to get done today. I've been like putting off those plant tours for ages because I wanted to share them with you, so I'm really glad that I have done them now. It feels like a bit of a relief, especially moving this out of the cabinet, even if I'm not 100% sure if this is where it's going to go long term. I just feel like it was something that was pressing on my mind for literally months now, and basically since this new leaf came in. So very glad to have done that, as well as a bunch of other good to do plant chores. So thank you all so much for joining me, helping me do my plant chores, because it does get a little bit easier when I am just talking through it with all of y'all. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up down below and leave a comment on other houseplanting things you'd like me to talk about in the future. If you want more plant chores videos, let me know down below. Do you do plant chores with me while I'm doing my plant chores in these videos? Hope you do, because that's how I find getting plant tours done when I'm not filming them, like putting somebody else doing plant tours on the TV. That helps me massively. So I hope you are doing that as well and you're getting some stuff done, and subscribe for more. Thank you all so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Do not forget to keep growing. Bye!